guys, Comedy Store Podcast, and we're here being very positive. We have cameras set up. We have a great guest tonight. My co-host is missing. Daylight savings has fucked his life because his daughter doesn't want to go to bed on time. But we have the great Bobby Lee here.
Ooh.
Do you like that I said the great?
You know what I'm beginning to feel?
I'm being positive.
I'm literally feeling a love fest with you and I.
Let me ask
when
you
I
this.
see your eyes, it flutters.
Really?
When you look at me.
Oh, my eyes flutter?
Yeah.
Is it tears? Or
No.
Like what you're saying, like...
No, it's like, I'm auditioning for America's Got Talent or whatever.
You are.
No, this is how, and you're like a judge that really likes me, and you're gonna do the fucking golden ticket thing. Mm-hmm. You're gonna press the
thing. I'm gonna be like,
yeah. That's what I feel from you.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop that.
Because you said great. You said great.
I did say great.
Yeah.
But my question is
I love you.
Do you regret our
I love you.
rekindling
No, I love
friendship?
it. Dude, it's the best.
Why?
Because for so long I avoided you. I hated you.
Like a hard hate. Like,
it was like I was even thinking like, I hope she dies so I can go to the fucking gravesite and do things.
Like, what would you do on the grave? Because this gets me excited.
It does?
No, I'm serious. Like, people, because when we were kids, it was like, there was like this grave, Purdy's grave, and if you did something nasty to it, like weird shit would happen.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. Like,
I would like pee on the grave, shit on it. I would come a little bit too.
Then I would fucking haunt you.
You would?
I would haunt you.
I know you would haunt me.
I would, like, you wouldn't believe, like a filthy Irish.
If I would have died, what would you have done? Would you have been happy?
I would have not thought one way or the other about
that
it.
hurts
Not
even
one
fucking worse, man. That fucking hurts even worse, man.
Yeah, I would have just not even batted my fluttering eyes.
But now
I would feel like, oh, he got corona. Like that's.
Yeah.
God, are you nervous about this?
Dude,
like,
I took a nap today, and I was like, because I'm going to Denver tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So I took a nap. I woke up, and then my girlfriend goes, "Do you hear?" And she goes, "Forrest Gump got it." And I go, and as soon as Forrest Gump got it, it got closer.
It got real.
I don't know why. Why is it that when he got it, it got a little bit more real?
Even though he got it in Australia.
It doesn't matter.
But in our brain,
yeah,
he's right here in Hollywood.
Yeah. I think that's
like
what it is.
we all work together.
No, we don't.
I mean, I don't.
I'll never see him. I'll never meet him. You know what I mean? He's in a completely different, you know what I mean?
But I can't even meet Wilson. That's how fucked up.
That's how fucked up. Yeah, the fucking volleyball.
Yeah. I can't even buy, like, whatever. But I feel awful, him and his wife.
Especially, dude, if he dies.
But.
If he dies, mass hysteria.
If he dies, he dies. Sorry, it's a Rocky thing. It has to happen. But my thing is this: don't you think now that this is weird, but because he's such a high profile, they're gonna fucking scurry to come up with a vaccine, like scurry. That's like our president.
I think. I think because he is the most likable. He is one of the most likable people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
You can name a celebrity and people are either going to hate him or love him.
Sure.
Like people love Ellen, but I know a lot of people that hate her.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, love, hate. Sure. Roseanne, more hate now
than love.
A lot more
hate. She jumped on the hate train.
Me, there's a lot of people that hate me.
So many hates. Yeah.
I know, but I could see it on the internet.
People
say it all the time.
Hate
like,
me too.
Yeah, they hate me. And then, but he's one of those guys that's universally liked.
Yeah.
And I think that if he somehow passes away from it, or even by him getting it, it just causes like more of an awareness and fear. I think it's
and they
weird.
would cancel America across the board. Like, you guys fucking killed Hanks.
I know.
I
know.
So they gotta figure it out.
They gotta figure it out. And I was listening to Rogan's podcast as well.
Me too.
You were, and it was freaking me out. Was it freaking you out?
If I text Joe, I said, I'm watching this with a hazmat suit on. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous, but this guy is calming in a way.
Rogan is?
No, not Joe. The
guy,
Michael.
Yeah, they're from Minnesota.
Because he's so smart and so specific with every answer. Wasn't like when he said, I'm not trying to, like Joe was like, you're scaring me. He's like, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to make you aware.
Right.
I was like, yeah. And so he's like, he's smart, but he's not saying, oh, we're going to fix this. It's all going to be fine. Just everybody calm down.
Yeah.
He was like, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but we need to be aware. Like,
yeah. It's good. Well, when he said that this is just the beginning,
Exactly.
that's what scared me.
It's going to get a
It's
lot
the
worse.
beginning because it feels like at the end. You know?
We've been joking about this for 2 months now.
Yeah. And now it's just starting.
Yeah, I've been getting yelled at as a racist on Twitter from a post Josh Wolf put like a month ago.
Why?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
There was an Asian girl, cute girl. She bit like something that looked like maybe a squid. I don't know, and it squirted everywhere.
Yeah,
it was more of a phallic thing than
Sure.
anything. Like, but he put it up, and I'm like, is that how the coronavirus started? Just as a joke.
very innocent, and that's a very innocent joke.
And everybody was like, "You're spreading misinformation." I'm like, "Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm not an expert. I'm an idiot."
Yeah,
Like
some people call it the
racist.
Chinese coronavirus. You know what I call it?
The Chinese
Chinaman.
corona.
The Chinaman. The coronavirus. So
I like that you say Chinaman.
Chinaman's great.
How many times did Dice call you Chinaman on your
None.
podcast? Not once.
Not only that is it. What was great about thank you so much for getting Dice on.
Who cares?
It's not that. It's not that. It's like Spade. I've asked Spade 10,000 times. David Spade.
Really?
Yeah.
And
he's so busy. No, he wants to do it, but he's just so busy
it.
and stuff like that. But you need a middleman sometimes to push.
Yeah.
Right? And you did that for me. But what happened is that he became one of the most beloved guests we've ever had.
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it. He was like, hey, a lot of people reached out from Bobby's.
Yeah, and so hopefully, it'll be easier for him to do it the next time. But we really want him back. He was that good.
His clips, I saw one the other day, something about complimenting a girl.
Yes.
Like you're not allowed to compliment.
Yeah.
But that was his old manager that did that to his wife.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
But he was so innocent. He was like, hey, I really like those pants. Yeah. And Andrew freaked out. But it was that genuine, like such a throwaway. Like, hey, and they were real colorful.
Yeah.
Like anybody would have said it because they were literally like asking for a compliment pants.
Yeah, he's also to me, he's a living legend to me.
Of course, he is.
Because I know you're so deep in. You're so used to see him. You guys were sexual.
Yes, he was deep in there.
Right, you're deep in that fucking. I don't know why, but
we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
I don't.
How?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like Dave.
You
Taylor,
sucked his dick?
Of course. What?
It's just weird.
I'm not the only cocksucker in the room.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I have to. Okay. Yeah. All right. Bring back the past.
Okay. No, I'm saying. So what? A sexual thing is a sexual thing.
Right.
So what?
Yeah.
But yeah, we were together for like 5 years.
Oh wow.
And Dave Taylor was like, I think he got you in his dice vortex.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like you were climbing to get out. And I was like, oh, there's Eleanor.
Yeah.
And then people would be like, why'd you guys break up? And I'm like, oh, I regained consciousness. But I really feel that.
Yeah.
Like,
what is that like?
Consciousness?
No, just like, being with him.
It's
sleeping on the same bed. I mean, I can't imagine.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I remember like we would film here. Remember he would film all those dailies, whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever. He would film and then we'd go watch them. He would call them the dailies.
Right.
At his apartment.
Yeah.
And it would be like me, Ranazizi, Ari, Simone, and Ari and Ran. They were watching in the living room and they didn't know we were dating.
Yeah.
And then I came out in like pajamas and they're like, the fuck is happening?
What the fuck is
like,
happening?
Even Ari was like, what is this? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Why does she have clothes?
And I would have been invited to those things if you didn't have that, right? If you and I didn't have that conflict, I would have been invited and I would have been a part of it.
You were in every video.
I understand, but I was never with the dailies. I never got to go to the apartment because of fucking you, right?
No point, but yes.
Yeah.
It's not because of me.
Yeah, and let me be honest. I'm not that big of a piece of shit.
Anyway,
because for you to now call me to show
Freddie
up
was
here,
helping him edit them, so
I know, but just listen to me though.
Okay.
For you to now look at our relationship now.
Okay.
Right? Right?
Okay.
You fucking called me, right? And I looked at Kalila and I was doing stuff. I had editing something, and I'm like, I have to make it to the Eleanor thing.
No.
Yeah. My point is that just listen, okay? In my fucking world, right? You're very I want to, you know what I mean? Prove to you that I'm
But
not that
that's-
piece of shit that you thought that I was.
I don't think you're a piece of shit, even if you said no. I mean, look, think about what you put it in water.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Think about last week with the live video. You got. You just said I'm going to get a drink, and then who cares? Or 2 weeks ago,
I know,
I don't get upset
be
about
honest,
that. I think
be honest. But the things that you thought about me back in the day
Sure, because I didn't know you.
misconstrued.
Because I didn't know you.
And they were on a house of lies.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. A house of lies.
What house of lies?
I'm just saying is that all human beings, if you're listening out there, right?
They're
There are
listening.
negative
Got a lot of
qualities that people have, right? And I'm a liar.
I have a lot of negative qualities.
I'm a deceiver. I live in the shadows, right? But
Fuck, that's
I have,
terrible. Those are terrible.
I know, but I have positive things as well.
Okay,
You
what
know
are
what I mean?
they?
But-
See if you can name them fast like that.
Yeah, I'm a giver.
Okay.
I'm present,
Okay.
right? And I'm good to the people that I love.
That's true.
All right.
Okay.
So, and I take care of people. I do.
That's great.
Yeah, and I've helped a lot of people. I like to help people.
By the way, like we always say, no one has ever come on here and spoken negatively about you,
So
including
why?
myself.
Oh,
I never did that.
okay.
I just didn't speak on it.
Yeah.
Like if someone brought it up, I would just let it. Oh, cool. But literally, like
Yeah.
so many people,
I have to.
all those times we weren't talking, would say how great.
I have to
Why
say
are you
that
getting so close?
because I have to be.
What's
I have to be real with you right now. Okay.
Oh, is he gonna make out, Josh?
No, I'm not gonna make.
All
I
right.
would never kiss you.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I don't feel good.
But I want to say this, all right? That I truly, right? If you ever wanted something from me, I would go out of my way to help you. Number one and number two, bitch. Are you ugly fucking?
I am an ugly
yeah,
bitch.
Philadelphia
I like
bitch. All right. This is a joke. That's just how we talk as comics. Okay, so don't
He's trying
don't
to be
fucking
tough.
cancel
He knows.
me. Yeah.
Please.
But
My father helped him survive.
I'm getting
What?
to the point with you where you're one of my favorite people.
All right, we're gonna have to put a strain in this relationship.
I just lied a little bit.
a lot of it.
No, not a lot of it.
That was
The-
the deceit. That was the deceit.
No, me.
thing?
Now I'm backing up a little bit, going, I don't know. But the thing is that I really do. I am fond of you.
And I'm fond of you.
That feels so good. That's all I wanted
God damn
from
it.
you. That
So
you're fond
was
of me.
deceiving that you just made me say that.
I
like,
know.
it's not enough for me to like say hello.
Mm-hmm. No, because you know that when we see each other, we're playing this role, right?
Well,
where
it's
it's like,
silly.
yeah,
It's
you
being silly.
you pretend
Yeah.
that I gross you out. I try to attack you.
That's not
It
fully
is.
up.
It's giggles. It's shits and giggles. And then we
Your
giggle.
toes are out. I get
I
uncomfortable.
know we giggle like little school kids, like we're little kids, and it's a joy. It's a real joy.
It is. I'm jealous that you have these.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love those.
yeah.
I didn't make them in this shirt, but I always have those.
You do.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But
Those are
anyway,
comfortable.
we should get to a point where we don't even ever have to talk about this.
No,
I think this should be the last time.
But I got to be honest. It's your insecurities that bring it up. I would never bring it up.
What do you mean?
Sorry.
Well, you just spit on me. What?
sorry. You got it.
If I have,
Do we have any wipes?
Yeah.
Guys,
yeah.
Bobby needs a spray.
So,
a Silkwood scrub down.
what the fuck does that mean? I don't think that I did.
What?
I don't think that my insecurities bring up our fucking conflict.
But you did bring it up. I didn't bring it up.
Did I bring it up?
Roll the tape back.
I think I did bring it up. All
What if
right,
we had
you're
a
right.
Court reporter.
You're right. That
Like,
was my bad. So
No,
I'll
but
never bring it.
I don't think of it.
Yeah, it's fun to bring it up though.
Or maybe I did because I said, "Are you annoyed that we rekindled our relationship because now you have to like respond to my text messages?" Or
Yeah, but you know what?
but you don't have to do anything. You understand that? Like, please don't do that.
No, I want to do it.
And I love that you want to do it. I
Yeah.
love that you came in. But I'm saying like, if don't feel obligated. Like, oh, she.
But
Like, I don't get mad.
But I want to say one last thing because this is what I've been thinking for the last 6 months, and I don't ever want to talk about it again. But is I just how do I make it right with Princess Corey?
Ooh.
Because she's sometimes in the room, and then it's like I want to say hi, but no one. I've never had the opportunity to ever. I can't just break the ice and walk up to her and go, "Let
Right.
bygones be
But
bygones," because
now-
it's personal. It's so,
It is personal, but also you're talking about somebody who's a little tad, maybe a little more than a tad, mentally not adjusted well.
She's gonna hear.
Unstable.
Are you gonna get in trouble for saying that?
No. I love Corey. She knows
She's the
this,
best.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying this, like, because her mind, and this is awful, what happened to her, obviously, she lost her husband,
Yeah.
who was her everything. And when someone passes, you then make them even more of your everything.
Is she seeing anybody else?
Sure, she's, I'm not gonna, it's not my business to put out there, but, it's not an easy thing for her to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's looking at her daughter who looks exactly like him every day, So it's a lot of like crazy shit. So of course, we break her balls all the time, but
is
would
the daughter
totally
funny
talk
too?
To you. Cruz is very funny.
She is?
But she's not interested in stand-up. She's
Damn
smarter
it.
than us.
Damn it.
She's going to school. She's very, very good in school.
Oh, she is?
Corey was very good in school. Freddie was very smart. He just didn't like being told what to do. So he didn't even graduate high school.
I know.
You did know that?
Yeah. Because you have to understand that him and I initially were friends. We hung out all the time. Playing guitar late at night, singing and all that stuff. So it's like...
We would be at Mel's.
Yeah, I remember when he got overnight just really funny. And I got real jealous,
Because in the beginning, he was terrible, right?
He wasn't that terrible. He just hadn't found his voice. I found mine later, It just takes time with some people. But with him, when it happened, because him and I started around the same time, I thought, oh my God, he found it. And then when he started destroying rooms, I was like, I felt like I had to catch up or something, you know what I mean? And so there was a little bit of envy in my part. But I
feel like everyone goes through that. Anybody you come up with, because his best friend, Marcos, who did the documentary as well, he came to film me maybe my third or fourth time doing stand-up, and he goes, whoa, you're way better than Freddie was in the beginning. And I'm like, oh my God, Marcos. That's rude. He's dead. Don't disrespect.
Yeah.
But what he meant, because Freddie, you guys were young. How old were you when you started?
23.
Right. So you're young, and you're like, I started when I was 35.
Yeah.
So it's late.
But I also have to defend us too, is that at that time, you have to understand that when I started in 1995.
Right.
Ethnics weren't.
Freddie was 90 because he had the tuba. He was playing the fucking tuba. For
right.
Like a year.
Yeah. So you have to understand back then in show business, it's not as if, we had the greatest opportunities. It was much harder. Like now you see, I talk to like Ali Wong or some of these younger comics, and they even say, man, we don't have to do the things that you used to have to do. Right. Like in terms of like doing auditions where it was all just Asian accents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
sure.
Every audition was like, I remember one audition, I literally showed up, and this is not a joke, everyone was wearing a ninja outfit. And then
casting people?
For a casting people. And they were
I would have brought my own samurai.
Yeah, but they were all with the hood too.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding you. So I walked in like this, and they were like, where's your outfit? I go, I don't know no ninja.
I'm Korean.
And they go, and they did, I don't remember they going, all right, well, I read something in a thick Asian accent, and I walked out and going, oh, I'm never going to make it in this business. This is insane. And that's the only thing I got.
Now you can't make it if you do that.
That's true. I mean, even...
Especially if you're white.
Yeah. It's a miracle that I somehow was able to, not quit. You know what I mean?
No,
you just can't
true,
quit.
Because it is, sometimes you just,
I just tapped you.
Is that your toe, Bobby? Your toes are out. Ugh,
yeah.
I don't feel good.
Good.
I need a Silkwood scrub down. Do you think Rick is... Anyway, abandoning. He's just like, I'm done. But no, so I'm saying like that because, the Hollywood Shuffle. Remember that movie?
Loved it.
Oh, my God. That was when they would be, can you be more... It was Irera, Dom Irera.
Oh, that character. Oh, Lisa. Amazing, yeah.
Can you be more black?
Yeah.
Think of that, to do that to any ethnic of any kind is so fucking awful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard though if there's a part that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Yeah,
you just cast the real thing at that point.
But I still had, I'll still do an accent if it's like if Scorsese, for instance, goes, you know
He's
what I mean?
like, look.
Yeah, like, and you're doing a scene with De Niro, and you're just like this Chinese guy, and you need to have the accent.
Would you at that point say I'm Korean or no?
No, I would just say, you want me to
Okay.
do Chinese? I'll Chinese. You know what I mean? And whatever it is, and they go, and I would fucking do it. Like I was in the movie The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen, and he goes, "You have to do an accent." I go, "I don't." If I'm
Well, he does every accent.
right, and I was
I don't
all the
even know
scenes
what
were
he
with
is.
Ben Kingsley. All my scenes were with Sir Ben Kingsley, so I'm
shit.
like, of course I'll do an accent.
Yeah.
But it was,
You
know,
come in bowing. You're like,
that's what I did. You know what I mean? And that was a real, but that experience was invaluable to me because it's like, I got to work with Ed Norton
Wow.
and him and Sasha and all these
Sasha's
great people.
brilliant.
But back in the day, man, I can't even believe. But now here's anyone starting doing stand up.
Okay.
You just can't ever quit because the dudes I started with, like guys like Joey Marmo. Remember Joey Marmo?
Of course.
Every 4 years he'll
This
show
might-
up at an open mic.
He would do that. My pussy stinks. Like, what?
Yeah,
Mitzi
yeah.
would just be falling out of her chair. I'm like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
I love Marmo.
But Marmo
yeah.
could have made it if he just. There's Rick.
Oh, good.
If
You're
you
a
would.
Marmo. You said Marmo and Rick
Yeah,
came
Rick
in.
comes in. But I'm just saying that kids out there.
He's talking to the kids now.
It's about literally like going up every night. This is a Comedy Store podcast,
yes.
and
We do look for advice.
And
on
if you
comedy.
honestly believe that, you have to really do some soul searching to see if you have it. By the way, it's so a lot of comics have they don't have awareness. They don't have an ear. Like I remember, I can't want to say his name, but
Go for it.
I can't.
We have a disclaimer.
I don't want to hurt his feelings, but
You just shit on Joey Marmo. I think we.
no, I didn't say. I know because I just said that Joey Marmo would have made it if he would have not.
No,
quit
absolutely.
and
I agree.
stayed in the game.
I agree
You know what I
million
mean?
times.
I don't
over.
even know who that is.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you remember I had him speak at Mitzi's? Oh, were you here for that?
I don't think
at
so.
Mitzi's.
He sounds like a loser who
He's
couldn't cut it.
yeah. But I had this guy. I lived in an apartment building. There was a guy that was like an alternative comic that lived down the hallway, and he would knock on my door and go, "I just killed," and he would play me.
No.
You know what I mean? His tapes, and you could hear just complete silence, and then every once in a while you'll hear, "Ha."
Yeah.
And it, look, right? And he had no self-awareness that he was legitimately bombing, right?
Yeah.
I've always had the polar opposite. It's like I have to like be real and know how I'm doing for real.
Yeah.
And so it's like if it's not at a certain level, you know what I mean? I have to people don't have an awareness. Have you know people like that?
I'm the opposite of that guy in that like I can do pretty well and I'll get off stage and someone will be like, "Hey, that was a good set." I'm like, "Not really."
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. I'd rather be that than the other way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've met tons of people who, like you're saying, like to be like, "Oh
So
man, I
many.
crushed so hard tonight," and you're like, "Did you?" Because I saw some of that set.
I saw all of that.
Did I miss the crushing part?
Yeah.
Did you just shut it down after?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Did you come back on after?
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
Was
I
that
can't-
broadcast live to another audience, and
Yeah.
you were getting the response through an earpiece, maybe?
But how do people lie to themselves? And you, like you say, it does take time to become that killer. And we were talking about Freddie Soto and him and Bobby started together, and just like Freddie, in his eyes, found it first.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Which is
because
fine. That happens.
I remember him and I would get the same laughs, and then he used to crush.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like crush hard, and I would get smattering of laughs, and I literally thought to myself, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? I got to figure this out. When I wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self that just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to worry
Exactly.
about it.
It's not a race.
Yeah, you don't have to like get because I used to stay up at night just self-obsessed
Yeah.
and waste all that fucking time, So it's like, so a lot of it's progression, and it's inevitable if you have, the skill set to do it or the talent to do it. But a lot of people are doing it when they don't have the talent, and they're just a
Sure.
waste of stage time.
Now,
Yeah.
how long
40%
would you give those
waste of
people?
stage time.
Yes.
You think it's 40%?
I think so.
That's pretty low,
I mean, that's low for me. Like,
especially for Rick.
typically
That's
I would have
low,
been like
honestly.
90%. But
I was very
Yeah.
proud
But
of
I-
him right now.
yeah.
Wow,
He must have had a
yeah.
positive day. We had a positive drive here.
Yeah.
I still think 90% of comedians aren't funny,
Okay.
but I understand that that's my sense of humor.
Got it.
Right.
But I think, truthfully, there's 40% of comedians who nobody finds funny. And it's like that mystery of like,
God, I
what
just
the
saw
fuck?
like 20 of them.
Yeah,
in my
like
head.
what possesses you? Because like you're saying, you got to keep working at it. But some of these people have been doing this shit for 20 years. And you're
Yes.
like, at what point are you
Yeah.
going to understand? Like,
So how do we do that? Do you think there should be like a camp? Like, hey guys,
we need to do a reality
quarantine?
show. It's called America's Not Talented. And
Well, we have to go to Mitzi's motto, and Mitzi's motto was it's a
I don't-
sin. It's a sin to support mediocrity.
I don't
Yeah.
encourage mediocre talent.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's like, that's number one. Number two, it's just like, I think it's a sin as a comic to go to somebody who obviously doesn't have it, and to go, keep going. No, you
Yeah.
have it. And sometimes you would say stuff like that just to be a nice person and not to hurt anyone's feelings.
I
But
can
I
see
think
that.
that's a disservice.
yeah.
I think
I
that
don't
we have
do-
to be a little bit more honest.
Yeah, I can't even encourage someone if they're good at comedy but an asshole.
Yeah.
Like I'm just willing to discourage people. It's probably not for you.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've had to survive in this business is a lot of guys that I knew that when they had nothing or when they were starting, because I've been at the Comedy Store for 25 years, since
Yeah.
Don't look
95.
at me. Yeah.
We've been on each other.
93.
yeah.
93, cuz.
So when I come to the Comedy Store, it is literally, I feel like it's my church, it's my home. If this ever went away, it would destroy me. No matter what I do in my life,
Yeah.
this has to be here.
Yeah.
I know a lot of comics when Adam Ega took over were told not to even call in because
They're not good.
no,
And he was honest.
no. I don't think that's even the case. I think some cases it's like he called some people that were like a little too old,
Yeah.
and he wants to bring young people in, which is fair.
I get that, but
But
also
I-
Tommy was doing that. Tommy
was doing it as
Tommy
well.
was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's the Comedy
It
Store's
has
not a
to-
place for
it has
our
to
audiences
evolve.
are young. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like
and
they're
you have
not
to
going
learn to
relate.
pivot too.
Yeah.
You have to learn to pivot.
And if you're doing the same
Little
bits,
bit.
even if they do okay, you're doing the same bits you did in '87.
Yeah,
That shit's it's got to go.
yeah, but the comedy. So
It's very rare that they keep it together. Like Dom Herrera still kills.
Yeah, he's
Still
crushing.
he's
fucking-
amazing.
I walked in just now. He's
And he was
crushing.
crushing. I
Yeah.
He
love
said,
it.
I walked in. He goes, "So I'm watching these lesbian videos, and the crowd just loses it." I'm just like,
Yeah.
so good.
Okay.
Don't know what he's talking about, but
Who knows?
Yeah.
That's
I
Dom.
think if you do comedy and you live in the result,
Ah.
a lot of people live in the result. Like they see a life, they see Dalia and they see Eliza, all these people making real money now. Sebastian, like these
Yeah.
are people that are like buying compounds.
yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I went to Sebastian's house. It was like,
Oh yeah.
this is a compound.
Yeah.
This is not even a house. It's an
He let
institution.
you in his house.
Yeah, it's like
I
a
gotta-
12
I
Yeah.
gotta call
I've been to
him.
Whitney's,
Yeah.
everyone's house.
It's
Okay,
like a
thank you.
$12
All right.
million house or something.
Whitney's fine.
Way more.
Sebastian, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
saw.
insane.
I can't remember what it was, but I saw it said comedian purchases, and I'm like, "Fuck, who was it? Seinfeld?"
Yeah,
and I
that's
clicked
what
on
it
it. And I go, "Oh,
Sebastian, we were like, oh shit.
that's someone
shit.
I did shows with before."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that. I knew when he was waiting tables at the Four Seasons.
Yeah,
Club, right?
I remember.
Yeah,
I had to park his car. Then he'd pull in. He'd like, "I need to go as soon as I'm done."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, turn it around. I got
but when,
tables.
when you're a young comic
Jaguar.
and you're doing it because you want that, right?
Yeah.
That's generally not the reason to do it.
Right.
Right.
The reason to do it is because this is the only thing. To me, this was it. Once I did it the first time, I'm like, there's no other option.
Although you brought
Yeah,
up
I agree.
Sebastian and Whitney, and both of them are amazing. Whitney, to me, like people wake up and say, "What would Jesus do?" And I say, "What would Whitney do?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like to me, she's that good.
She's so good.
She's so smart.
hmm
She like and
Business
Tommy
savvy.
used to say,
Well.
"Well, she's industry savvy." You know,
Yeah.
The industry
And she
likes
was.
her.
she was. She knew what to do.
Yeah.
She knew. Like I sit and I punch myself. Like I have no idea what to fucking do.
Well, she had Barry Katz.
But Sebastian too.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian would bang his head against the wall, like, how do I fucking make it, whatever.
Yeah, but I think in those cases though, they're not like sitting down with a gigantic piece of paper and going,
But
"This
they
is the
kept
route."
doing, and they kept doing it in the right.
You keep trying.
Right.
That's because I remember when Sebastian was calling me, going, "How can I get on Chelsea lately?"
Right.
And then going to Michael Cox and
She
going,
used to open for him.
yeah, and Michael Cox going, "He's just not right for the show," and then you know what I mean, and then. I'm pretty sure he was wrong, but yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, but he would say that he goes, he's just not. I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
That's what they said about me over at Spade.
I know, really?
Same.
Yeah.
I think
I did
don't
it,
know,
and then I was like,
just-
"Hey, can I get booked again?" Because I saw some people that I don't respect at all getting booked again, and Adam was like, "No." I go, "Really?" And he's like, "No, they just not interested. You know, they're going to go for diversity or people with followings." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
but you can't take that personally, right?
I agree.
I think you can
agree,
take
because-
anything personally.
I know, but I don't think it's healthy to take that specific thing personally because
I'm not a healthy person,
I know.
but
Okay,
but
fair
it's
enough.
one of those things where I'm just like, all right. I mean,
But Rick, I'm going to tell you something, and I've told you this how many times? For 10 years, I've been fucking telling you, you're a slow burn.
Oh.
Okay? You have guys like, I remember when in 1996, I did a show with Doug Stanhope.
Ooh.
And Stanhope and I they used to do this thing called Fourth and B in downtown San Diego,
I
which
remember
was,
that.
it was like, they would go to every company and just paper this room, and 1,400 people would show up. But like, we would just all be able to go up.
Wow.
But they wouldn't pay us that much.
right.
But it was like stadium kind of like performing.
Sure.
And I did a show with Doug, and Doug didn't do that well, right? And I remember thinking to myself, watching him, going, "God, this guy's so clever and so edgy and so good." And
And they're
his
not
joke-
seeing
and
it.
they're
Why
not
are they-
seeing
yeah.
it. But I thought to myself, this is a slow burn guy. This guy is eventually going to amass this gigantic following. You're the same thing, right? You're not one of these guys that like, you're not sexy, bro.
No shit
You know what I mean?
at all.
But what I have to
Is that the pot?
what I have to say is that, and I really mean this, and I've told you this before, I honestly think you're one of the best guys at the store.
I
Easily.
appreciate that.
Easily. I really do.
I think what you're saying is true, and proof I have of that is I went to the pharmacy about 2 months ago, and the guy at the pharmacy was like, "Hey, I saw you at the Comedy Store the other night," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And this is all the way out in Agora Hills, so it's not like this dude drove to come to the Comedy Store. I go, "Oh, that's cool." He goes, "Yeah, me and my friends, we're big Chris D'Elia fans,"
Yeah.
and I go, "Oh, right on." And he goes, "Yeah, I think we might have actually laughed more at you, but like Chris is just fucking so good looking." And I'm just standing there waiting for my fucking insulin. Like,
Yeah.
why would you tell me that
Do you know I'm a
part?
diabetic?
You know
Why would you mention that he's way better looking than me?
You know what happened last night with Chris D'Elia?
No.
I bring
that
him on.
was hysterical, by the way. But go ahead.
Oh, you saw it last night? So I bring him on stage and we do a little banter, right? About the texting or whatever, right? I forgot what the actual bit was, but there was, you could tell that the audience was like, oh, they're friends. That's what you got out of the
Sure.
thing,
Yeah.
right? So then, like 45 minutes later, these two like frat jockey guys come up to me in the patio, and they're wide-eyed, and they go, "You know Chris D'Elia?" I go, "What do you mean?" Because you guys did the banter, like, so you're friends with, you know him? I go, "Yeah, bitch, he knows me, bitchy bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows me as well, bitchy bitch."
Yeah, I'm the legend here.
Is my reaction, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you
Chris
know what I
knows
mean?
me.
Yeah, but you know,
Did you get Chris in the store?
Probably.
No.
no, he came in on his own.
Well,
Oh, Chris.
I'll take credit for Brody.
I pushed a lot for Chris and Whitney,
I brought Brody in.
and I wasn't even a regular when I was pushing for them.
That's a good
Brody's
one.
the best.
Brody, and who else did I bring in? A couple
Oh
of
my
other
God.
people.
Who else? I mean,
Kevin Christie.
we've had
Kevin-
probably 30 people go, "Well, Bobby Lee got me in," and I always go, "Bobby."
He's saying I'm a nice guy. I said I know. Everybody tells
Yeah.
us.
Or
you
are there
know?
people that I brought in that you don't think that I should have brought in?
Probably. I can't. I can't remember at this
Yeah,
point
yeah,
who,
yeah.
but there's got to have been. The amount of people have said you helped them get in here. There had to be a handful of them. I'm just like, that motherfucker.
Some of it was pussy related.
Sure.
That's-
That always
got
makes
it.
sense to me.
Yeah. You've never, I mean, have you ever, I mean, am I the only one that did that? Or you see
Have I done it for pussy?
No,
What do
no,
you
for
mean?
dick. Have you done it for dick ever?
No.
Oh.
Well, I remember Chris D'Elia though. It was Steve Renazizi, and I said, "This guy's really good." and we do a lot of shows at the Ha Ha together. And Steve's like, "Are you trying to suck his dick? I'll get him a showcase."
It's the best club in town.
No. I go, no, he's just a nice guy. Like, he's genuinely a nice person.
Yeah.
And like, he never, all the times we would be hanging out and going up, he was never like hitting on girl. It was always after.
He's a genuinely good dude.
He never fucked around with comics.
Comes from a good family.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
like
a
they're all
dude.
good people.
They're good people. Yeah, yeah. I've never had anything negative. I love him. He's like a good friend of mine.
People
him.
genuinely get angry at me when they're like, "What do you think about Chris D'Elia?" And I'm like, "Chris is good." They're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but," I'm like, "No, he gets great laughs, nice dude." And they're like, "But," I'm like, "No, I don't honestly have anything to say."
Nothing bad to say.
No, but only that is he's not one of those. I remember Steve Trevino had a conflict with D'Elia.
I remember that.
Do you remember that? And Trevino was basically saying like, I don't have a daddy who's a producer.
I hate that
and that
shit.
angle.
Yeah.
And I pulled Steve aside. And let me say this too: Steve Trevino is very funny and he's very successful, and I love him dearly. He did drop me. Did I ever tell you about the dick thing where he dropped me off on the freeway?
No.
Please do. Are we allowed?
Yeah. When I was
okay.
in years ago, many years ago, I didn't know him, and he lived in Houston, and he got to MC for Mencia, who I was opening
That's
for.
where Freddie would tell me some crazy stories about being on the road with Trevino.
Yeah, and then so Trevino picked me up at the airport, and I don't know why, but I started masturbating
in the car,
in the back seat, just as a joke.
You got to freak him out.
I know, but at the time I thought it was funny.
Hey, listen.
So this is before you figured out.
Listen,
what
I didn't
stand-up
think.
was.
Hey, he's following in the footsteps of legends like Louis C.K. This is this is the way the best of the business handle business.
Right. Okay.
And then he
makes sense.
Trevino vomited,
As
pulled
he should.
on the side of the freeway, and drops me off.
Damn.
And I have to walk on the freeway
Is
by
he like
myself.
the ultimate heterosexual?
I don't know.
Is that another dude's penis?
But it was just a joke, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, cut to when Trevino was accusing because of the nepotism.
Yeah.
Right. I have to defend Chris. We all saw Chris over many years do open mics and wait in line and bomb and keep trying, experimenting.
Yeah.
And he's always been a hard worker, and so that doesn't play. And that's what I told him. Yeah.
Yeah, there are no shortcuts. And also, like Chris, years ago, you remember my friend Lauren Peltz?
Oh, yeah.
Cute little, we waited tables together here for a long time. Well, she was an agent. And Chris sent a tape in, and it said Comedy Store. And Lauren was like, "Let me see it."
Yeah.
Like a twat. And here's a circle of agents talking about, hey, should we sign this guy?
Yeah.
And Lauren, she was asking questions. He came in and he goes, "Oh yeah, I go to the Comedy Store all the time." And she goes, "What room?"
Oh, wow.
And he said, the belly room. And she was like, "Okay." And then she turned to the head guy and said, "He's not a regular." And they didn't sign him.
Brilliant.
But I'm saying, if this kid was so fucking...
Is she an agent there anymore?
And now she's a secretary.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
that?
yeah,
What happened?
I don't know. Something's buzzing in my ear.
if D'Elia's career was just based on doing guest episodes of Boston Legal, then you could be like, he's only getting this because his dad is.
Right.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. That's
But
exactly
the dude has
But I'm
had
saying
like
his dad
7
could've called-
comedy specials now.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And they're not
what it
just
is.
giving out comedy specials to guys who are like, his dad directed an episode of Northern Exposure I was a
Right.
producer on, so
Yeah.
give him another special. Throw him another
dad
$1 million.
Could have called Abrams Artists and said, "Hey, 1, fire that shit agent."
Yeah.
And then 2, sign my son.
Yeah.
It was
exactly.
Abrams Artists. You know what I mean? It
Exactly.
wasn't like a...
Yeah.
So
I was with them for a while, but anyway.
Sorry.
Could you
It's a
get-
shit agency?
Could either one of you get me in over there?
Great.
I'll
No,
take it.
Lauren burnt all my goddamn
God
bridges.
damn it.
You don't have an agent yet?
I never have.
I know, but now I feel like you can get one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Why now? Because of the ringers?
I think because of the
credit?
ringers, and I think that you can't get one. That's a nice TV credit.
I don't think anyone cares about doing 5 minutes on Comedy Central.
But have you sent the tape into anybody to see if they would sign you?
No, I haven't.
Well, then there you go. You have to try.
Yeah, I mean, are people still? Is someone still going to get representation from sending in a tape to someone?
Yeah, but in your
It's got to be a recommendation.
I got to be honest. I'm not going to be. I don't want to be negative. Look, he took the thing.
No, I'm just. His is so loud. That's his voice. Why is your voice so loud in my thing?
I don't know. That's. I mean, I
lower
assume
his
the
a little bit.
producers.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah,
I don't even know where
okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying it's not as easy as like, hey, I was on this,
It's different in his case, though.
You do have to be recommended.
It's not. It's different in his case. Because let me just. Okay.
I'm listening.
We're listening.
You're not a fucking new paid regular at the store, right?
Right.
You've survived several regimes here, right? Which is very difficult to do. We know a lot of comics that when a new talent coordinator comes to the Comedy Store, that they have their own idea about what they want, but you've always been a guy that they've always wanted. So that number one should be
Cockroach of comedy.
right.
Always
I'm
survive.
the same too.
Yeah.
I feel like I can survive. You're a survivor as well.
I'm a survivor.
Nuclear winters.
Yeah. So number two, we survived regimes. Number two is now that you have Bill Burr and All Things Comedy and people anointing you, going, this is legit, because I felt that me and Paulie had been talking about you for years.
Yeah.
Right. So now that you have that,
Paulie's
right?
a big fan.
Yeah. So am I,
Dude, I'll
right?
put you on the YouTubes.
I know, but I think that if you just did one little tiny, let's just see.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't see you asking around either. Are you asking around? I feel like your ego is not the type that's going to go to other comics and go, hey, do you think that,
I don't think it's ego. I do feel like a fucking, like a slimy creep asking people for help.
No, for referrals. You're
Yeah,
not
for
asking for help. You're asking for a referral.
But that is help.
That doesn't
I ju-
matter.
it just makes
but
me
you
feel-
have what to sell. It's not like, hey, can you get me in your agency? Get me this, get me that. You know what I mean? You have the talent. So am I wrong?
That's what
Am
I'm
I
saying.
crazy?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Here's another thing you can do then. There's a second way to
Invite
approach
him
it.
out?
No. I think what you're doing can also be good. You're just, because of the slow burn thing, and you're slowly getting things. For me, it's like I used to freak the fuck out when Ken Jeong got the hangover, because he used to be my doctor. I went to his wedding and we did tours together and stuff like that. But when he blew the fuck up, I thought to myself, oh, you know what I mean? He's the guy now. And then there's always a new Jimmy O Yang. He's the new guy. But then I kind of step back and go, no, I've always done this, right? You could. It seems like it's a straight line, but it's slowly upwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? And so it's like, for me, it's like, I'm just going to stay in the pocket that I am, because every year I just make a little bit more money. Every year I do something higher elevated or something new. And so I don't really kind of sweat, what other people are doing or what other Asians are doing or any other comic.
It's good that you don't sweat that. You shouldn't.
I don't, because I feel like I've done enough.
Yeah.
And you've done enough to not grovel and beg.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that also can be the right path.
Yeah. I mean, he's also a white male, so he's unbookable.
It's hard. Yeah, it's harder. Yeah.
Yeah, I really should have gotten successful about 10 years ago, so that way I could get in when it was still okay to be a straight white guy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
never
And then
okay.
now, I mean, that's
Never
kind of part of
okay.
what like Adam was saying with the lights out thing. And it's not even that big of a deal, but it's just like he's like, we have straight white guys, they're famous.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't need unfamous straight white guys. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And he's like my biggest supporter, so I feel like
exactly.
Yeah.
He's
If he-
on
yeah.
Rick's side.
if he could, he would. He's just like Comedy Central's not going to go for
Okay,
it.
but you did do that lights out one time.
I did it twice.
You did twice.
Yeah.
Right.
I only
you
did it
did-
once.
You did the ringers.
Yep.
Right. So those are 3 televised things that you could edit together to put on a reel
Easily.
easily. Right. I'm sorry, but it's like, coronavirus got realer when Tom Hanks got it.
Yeah,
Right,
it
we're
sure
very
did.
upset.
Right,
How about
right.
the NBA being canceled?
Yeah, that got realer.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you can be as funny as you can be on a regular club tape, right? It just doesn't have the same effect as a TV tape,
Sure.
True.
right? Because
It's professionally shot, and it's like
psychological.
Yeah.
You're there with other famous people. You're there with Spade. It just looks. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I just think that if you cut those three things together, right? Not to send it to anybody, but just to have it, so that when the time comes, you do a spot. Some agent goes or some manager goes, "Hey, can I see a tape?" That you can already have it, so that you're not going, well, in 3 weeks, because they could forget then, right?
Right.
So just have it. You can easily get somebody to edit some of these pieces of shits back here. You know,
So many of these
Todd's
pieces
not a
of
piece
shit.
of shit.
Yeah,
He's
well,
a
you-
good guy.
yeah, well,
but,
these
Good
great
editor.
Christians back here.
Yeah.
These good,
Amen.
yeah, good,
Amen.
good guys. My bad. I love you, man.
that's Josh. He's nothing.
He's not. yeah. But I just think that if you just do that,
All right.
I like that it
fuck
always
you
turns
and your
into
fucking.
a
I'll
Rick, this
keep
is
it.
your life kind of segment.
Bobby's the only one who gives me advice. Everyone else is just like, yeah, don't worry. And then they walk away and they're like, what a fucking idiot.
No, because you're an anomaly.
But it's true. It's like a
You are an
manager
anomaly.
came in here
Yeah.
and he fell in love with Rick. And
Who?
he's a manager.
Oh.
And
I thought he said Amanda. I'm like, who the fuck is Amanda?
wants to fuck
My
you.
wife's gonna want to know about this.
Sorry, Corinne.
I got to
No.
go up in 3 minutes.
They knock for you?
No,
Yeah.
but at 10 o'clock I go up.
Josh, you'll go check? Make sure, yeah. I mean, no, because if they need you now, if he's lit, you
Okay.
should go up.
Okay.
We're not going to do that to you.
No, I'm gonna go
As
up. I
you
don't give a fuck
dropped
about this.
everything.
Amen. Amen.
How dare you?
I love it
He
here.
said he felt like obligated to do it because I texted him.
That's nice.
Even the live one that you
That's a
did,
good
like
person.
I just went, I'm gonna be there.
You did. And then when you walked in, I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, I hate
He's
it.
going to know what a failure we are.
I hate it. I hate live ones, but it's
That was the most embarrassing thing ever. And your take on it was right because everyone was playing for the laugh.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's
But it was
it's
sad because
O'Neal.
there's only 6 people there. So it was,
what does that mean? What?
How
About
many?
6 minutes, Bobby.
Okay,
6 minutes.
Okay, good. I just farted.
Oh,
Sorry.
you motherfucker.
Sorry about
Now
that.
we all have corona.
Yeah, please.
Me, you,
Adam
Tom,
Carolla virus. That's the thing I'm really scared of.
Somebody was like, why
Just-
don't you have Corolla on your podcast?
And you said, because I want Rick to show up occasionally.
Yeah. You should have Dr. Drew here soon.
He's not a Comedy Store
He's
regular?
he's a regular.
Wait. You have to be a paid regular to play.
Yes.
I did not know
It's
that.
a Comedy Store podcast.
Oh.
You could have employees-ish,
All right.
but I wouldn't do like like people that aren't passed, like the people that want to get.
If Johnny Depp showed up, I'd let him be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only because Doug Stanhope would vouch.
Yeah,
And they're good
and he
friends.
went on
Doug's a
stage once
regular.
with Matt Edgar in the main room briefly,
Yes, he
so that
did.
counts.
Do you think it's harder to get past now here at the Comedy Store than when Mitzi
Hell
was?
yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
It's harder
yeah.
because
There's more.
Adam takes it very seriously, and so he'll pass like 7-8 people a year.
Yeah.
Mitzi was tough because some people, no matter how hard they crush, she just would never pass.
Well, she
but-
would say they were too polished.
Yeah.
And they didn't need her.
Right.
But she was around a lot, and she didn't feel like she owed the club something. So if she just wanted to pass
Right.
someone, she saw Jimmy and Joey go up, and she said, "Oh, they're
Did
great."
pass
I
them.
know.
She passed them, and then
Remember those Jeremy Dingle?
Dingle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheryl
Lawrence-
Vendetti.
I like Cheryl.
I do
But
like Cheryl. She's great.
Frankie
Jeremy
Lemmerman.
Lemmerman was my favorite.
yeah.
Remember
Oh, hello, Bobby Lee. I'm going up to Pauly Shaw's hot tub. You should come.
Yeah. Well, there was an Indian guy. I forgot what that.
Anand Shalani.
Anand Shalani.
Anand Shalani. He wouldn't even do his time.
I don't know.
He would do
like
6
6
minutes and then bail every
Oh
time.
my God.
One
And
time
always record it.
on a
Always.
Saturday night, right? He was before me. I'm in the hallway, and he goes up 3 minutes in. He goes, "Bobby," from the stage.
No.
He goes, "Bobby," and I look in. And he goes, "I'm done, Bobby," and he hasn't had the light.
Yeah.
And I remember yelling, going, "Do your time!
And he was like, I literally can't do my time.
Do your fucking time!"
What do you
I-
think happened?
I'm
to him?
filming my
Where
set
is he?
tonight.
He's directing something.
He's got to be a
He
producer.
directed Slumdog Millionaire.
He's
right?
probably
What happened?
He's
to him?
probably in charge of Comedy Central now.
No, I think he's probably doing he's at Boeing.
He's an engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing something
He
else.
went back.
Yeah, he went
He
back
went
to what he
back.
was supposed to be doing.
Dude,
Okay.
I remember watching the first time watching.
I'm gonna go.
Because he said, put his camera, set it up the camera.
Thank you,
I wanna
Bobby.
smoke.
Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby's gonna- thank you for coming.
Call me anytime you wanna. All right, I'll be here.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
I-
going to do that anymore.
I'm gonna
I feel
keep coming
bad
for
now.
advice.
Yes, just for advice. Wait, go ahead. I'm sorry. Rick's mean mugging.
Yeah. So he brought his camera in. The first time I saw Nonchalani, I'm like, oh, this dude's filming
Like
his
a
set.
full, yeah.
Yeah, like he had a tripod and a camera and a buddy that was gonna press record or whatever it was. And he set it up in the back of the OR, and there was probably about 9 to maybe 15 people in the OR that night. And he went up and bombed so hard for 5 straight minutes. Not like we talk about like someone bombed and they get a couple little chuckles,
Sure.
but it's still like mostly silent. This dude, it was as if he didn't know the premise of telling jokes, that there was any sort of pattern to doing comedy. It was just like
Right.
a dude talking and then kind of looking around. That's the only way I knew that's when the punchline was like him looking around like, why is there not? And then he got down to 5 and he was like, okay, I'm going to bring up the next guy. And I'm like, what?
Do you think that was his shtick?
No, I think he was
because
delusional.
But it was so bad continually. And I know Mitzi probably passed him. I can't remember his showcase or his passing, but she definitely passed him because of his
ethnicity. Yeah.
And was like, okay, I'm going to change the world with these.
I could put him in Arabian Night Show
Exactly.
or whatever it was. Yeah.
But he was Indian, though.
He was Indian.
wasn't he? Yeah.
But I think to her it was
I don't
just.
have one of those.
Yeah.
She needed one from everywhere.
Yeah, I don't.
What Freddie Lockhart would say, like Noah, she had 2 of everything.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He was already passed when I got here, but I just remember being like, what the fuck is this? And there was a lot of that back then.
Oh God, yeah.
There's a lot of where you're just like, when did they stop being funny?
There was
That's what I always talk. So I'm like, they had to be funny at some point
yeah.
because
There was a
Mitzi
lot
is
of-
infallible. So
Exactly. There was a lot of charactery.
yeah, he could be
people.
good on a sitcom.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this guy Rob Pyle used to he would wear the nerd glasses with the tape in the middle.
Hilarious.
Oh, dude, he would fucking slay.
Ugh.
He would slay, and he would shake and sweat. I'm like, does he have a fucking button? It would run down his face. He was fucking hilarious.
I've seen his headshot.
Yes,
He's
Rob
a pile
Pyle.
of garbage.
No, he's not. I'm sure he's doing.
I don't know who he
somewhere,
is,
doing something.
but
Mitzi thought
he
for
sounds like a
sure
cruise ship killer.
He's bringing Corona to everybody.
Spreading it as quickly as
Do you
possible.
believe Tom Hanks?
That's great news.
That's great because that means a vaccination's coming faster.
They're going to fix this now. We're not going to let modern day Jimmy Stewart suffer through the
This is like
coronavirus.
if men could get pregnant. This is like we're gonna put a stop to this.
Yeah, so-
real quick.
The FDA is like, forget about trials. Just get the cure out there now. Send it to Australia. Hanks needs it. What about Rita? Fuck Rita. Give both cures to Tom.
Try everything on Tom first. I ran into Yoshi.
Nope.
You don't know Yoshi?
I don't know who that is. The dinosaur from Mario Brothers?
No, I'm
Okay.
not gonna finish this sentence if that's who you think. He's a comic.
I don't know who that
Tours
is.
all over. He tours with Russell Peters. He
Yeah.
used to give out.
Not my cup of tea then.
You would like him. You would like him a lot. And he's a cool guy, but I didn't know he does this. He goes and gets tested. Like, he volunteers to have them test drugs on him because Japanese, another thing I didn't know, take medicine better than most people. So they like to try medicine out on.
He does like clinical trials for
Yes.
stuff?
Yes. And he's
What
gonna
a
do the
poor
corona.
piece of shit.
I'm worried. I'm like, oh my God, should we? But he said he does it a lot.
That's terrible.
But that's what I'm saying. It's happening.
There are prisoners all over this country
That
to run
we
these
could
tests
use.
on.
That's what I'm saying. But you have to be healthy. You have to be a certain, you have to pass all kinds of.
Yeah.
So obviously he's healthy enough. to
People
infect. and
people
then
are
fix.
losing their fucking minds.
It really is crazy. Did you buy a lot of toilet paper this week?
No, I mean I have a lot of toilet paper in general.
Smart.
So I'm not too concerned about it. I have gallons and gallons of water just because we buy shit in bulk.
Smart.
So
does OJ. I saw that. I saw
me and OJ, obviously, we've been thick as
Okay.
thieves since 2004. And even when he was locked up, I was just loading up, storing things for him.
Thinking about him.
Yeah, just
Like, hey,
juice
look
when
at
you
this.
get out. You're going to be supplied, double ply, mega rolls.
I saw that picture. He had the mask and like a big thing. I'm like, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. When I saw the NBA thing today and
That
I
was crazy.
when I read what happened, I was dying laughing.
What do you
thought
mean?
of that? So they suspended the season because Rudy Gobert tested positive.
Okay.
So he's the center for the Utah Jazz. So 2 hours before his test came back, he was listed as questionable for the game with illness. And he was giving a press conference, and one of the reporters said, "What do you think about everything going on with the coronavirus? Are you concerned that you have it?" He said, "This is how concerned I am." And then he walked and he touched every single reporter's microphone in the room, one at a time, just to prove a point that he doesn't think he has it and he's not concerned about it. And then 2 hours later, the trainer for the Oklahoma City Thunder ran into the arena onto the floor seconds away from opening tip-off and told the referees they needed to cancel the game because the dude's test just came back positive. And then all the reporters were like, "He touched my microphone earlier." He made it a point.
Airborne.
Like he made it a point
All
to
you
touch.
have to do is breathe.
Yeah. And so they had to suspend the season because that guy in the last 10 days has played 6 different teams. And that means there's 6 teams that are all possibly contaminated. And you can't just have 6 teams sit out. So everyone's got to sit out because
Curry was questionable too, wasn't he?
he was, but his test came back negative.
Okay, he's just sick.
Yeah, so he just had the flu or whatever. But
My problem is that anybody that gets like a cough, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm dying." Like
yeah,
it's like a group of Italians and Jews.
listen,
It's too much.
there's too much bureaucracy in this country, and the fact that you can't just light every Italian person on fire and let them burn to death is a
If an Italian
goddamn
person
shame.
is like, they're like, "We got to go to the emergency room."
Yeah.
Jews are like that too.
Well,
Mike
that's
Young
in
almost
general
put me in a
though.
hospital the other night.
Yeah, I mean,
So crazy.
that's for anything. That's not just because there's a pandemic going on. It's just in general. Like, did you just cough?
Hypochondriac.
We should probably put you in some sort of quarantine. But yeah, I've been picking on all the Asian people in the crowds the last couple weeks.
About it. That's
Yeah.
nice of you.
Just go, "Oh, what kind of Asian
Not
are
even
you?"
Chinese. That's like
Doesn't matter.
anyone? Okay.
So, where are you? Oh, Korea. Yeah, a couple cases there. How you feeling? Have you done your temperature today? If anyone who's sitting around and wants to just maybe take a little walk, find a different seat, I'll completely understand. No one's
Oh,
going to accuse you of racism.
God, Rick.
But you got to really push the limits.
Well, that's another thing. Somebody was like, "Oh, if you say the virus started in China and Wuhan, and you're racist," and I'm like,
That's where it
"No,
started.
That's where it started. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not being racist. It sucks.
I asked Feng Chao.
If it started in Philadelphia, I'd fucking say my people did this."
Yeah, well, I do think it's funny that Trump, he's such a nationalist. Today in his press conference, he kept referring to it as the foreign virus, just to push the idea that it's a foreigner invading our
Borders
land.
are important.
We're going to build a wall around this virus.
Whoa. Put that China wall back up.
I asked Feng Chao about it because I'm just trying to get the inside scoop on
Sure,
Wuhan.
I asked him too, and he
Yeah, he said, I go, "What's the deal? Are they poor there?" "Yeah, there's poor people, but the girls there are sluts." That's all I needed to hear.
okay. Is that how it started?
Yeah.
or-
Well, just in general, I think
Okay.
it just means there's a lot of, ins, a lot of
Right.
outs, a lot of what have yous in that region. So, some chicks out there eating bat heads,
Right.
and then the next night she's getting,
Eating
triple
ass.
tagged.
yeah.
There's human centipedes going on. This shit spreads quickly.
Sure.
That's why everyone's buying the toilet papers because of the post-human centipede, millennial.
Are people
Wuhan
shitting
citizens.
themselves? Like, I don't understand what's happening. The toilet
It's
paper.
literally just.
I live alone, so I have
Yeah.
plenty if you guys need.
It's literally just people start freaking out and they start going, "What am I going to need if I'm going to be locked inside my house for the next 3 months? Better make sure I have enough toilet paper." And then someone sees someone else buying toilet paper, and they go, "Oh shit, I don't want to be the only one without toilet paper."
Jesus
So
Christ.
because some dumb asshole decided there's not even really like diarrhea is not even one of the main signs of this virus, so it's
right.
ridiculous.
I can't imagine. I don't understand.
The point is, people are fucking retarded.
And they're like on Amazon, it like spiked up, like as far as selling things for like $70 per Purell. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, they're going after all the people who did price gouging now.
Anybody who did that
Amazon
should die.
Amazon's
of corona and then some.
Legitimately turning in people who price gouged.
Good.
So
as they should.
They have some sort of algorithm that shows like how much a price increases, and if it goes above 15%, I think is what it said, then it notifies someone at Amazon, hey, this person just raised their price by 25%. And in some of the cases, it was being raised by like 500%. So,
Jesus, I'm so angry over this shit. But we still do comedy. See, I'm worried about. I'm just gonna go on there and sell my toilet paper for
Smart.
a high amount if we
People
stop working.
Yeah,
and then
people
I
keep
can't
going.
pay
Are
my
they
rent.
are they gonna
Are we gonna
stop?
become squatters at that point?
We might. I mean, I'm legitimately doomed if they stop the
Same.
Comedy Store for a while. Like I don't get booked anywhere, so my comedy career is essentially over. And it is interesting. People kept saying, "I wonder when the comedy boom will end." This might be it.
Oh.
Comics aren't going to be able to tour.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in Portland first week of April, and
Yeah, we'll see.
that's Oregon's pretty hit pretty hard. Seattle, Washington, the whole state of Washington is shut down.
Yeah.
I mean,
The good news is it's mostly old people dying, and if there is a demographic of people we don't need, it's old people. They're just wasting air.
so happy to be old.
They're not providing any purpose for society, Eleanor.
That's not true.
They use our
My
resources.
mama's old and she makes me laugh.
Well, yeah, laughter. They're great for laughter. They say racist things because they're from a different time.
That's my dad.
If we could preserve the good ones,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. What I'm saying is we need to get rid of 95% of the over 80 population.
Sure. I got to call my dad and ask him what he thinks of this whole thing. That'd be a fun conversation.
I'm sure he'll understand, especially since the Asian markets are the hardest hit right now.
Right.
He probably has a hand in this whole thing.
Possibly. He once told me that, hey, girl, I killed a lot of Chinese in the Korean War. And I'm like, I think you were doing it wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
not technically.
Well, now I
mean, there was a lot of Chinese fighting on behalf of North Korea.
now
so
but
He was
first when he
right.
said it, I was like,
this doesn't
Dad?
seem. Yeah.
because I was young and I was like, oh my God. But then I was like, oh, okay. But he said a lot.
What was your? What branch was your?
Marine.
Yeah, my grandpa too. I wonder if they were
Sickos.
killing Chinamen together.
Possibly. Him and his best friend. My dad's crazy friend Curly. So funny.
God, I'd like to. I like. What's your dad's name?
Charlie.
Charlie, Curly, and Dick.
Charlie.
They could have really. Dick O'Brien with
Charlie, Curly, and Dick.
They could have been
Stooges of Korea.
the Korean War Stooges. I don't know if there's any producers out there, but let's
Come on,
sell this
guys.
sitcom.
Charlie, Curly, and Dick. I can't even say it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Are you
times.
on after Bobby?
Yeah.
All right, let's close this up. 10:10. That's good luck to close on that.
Hi.
Do you have anything to promote? I mean, hopefully the store will still be open.
We're hoping. If not, I will legitimately be performing on the street in front of the Comedy Store. So please come by. Me and Boone Shakalaka will be selling goods. Check out Embrace the Hate on all the other podcast networks. That's it. That's the only
Embrace the Hate. You're still doing it?
I'm still doing it.
I'm so excited.
I'm like
for
4
you.
episodes in.
And it's just you or you and Matt?
It's me and Nost.
I love it.
When I interviewed him here for the Comedy Store podcast over Christmas or something,
Yeah.
we just started talking. I'm like, we should just do this again.
It's so good. It's
So
so
we-
smart.
We film it. We do it over at Collider, and
What's that?
it's like a website.
Nice.
They do like movie stuff, but
Okay.
they just let us use their studio and
It's great.
film it so we can put it on the YouTubes. And
Check it out because I'm
yeah.
sure it's hilarious. Embrace the
It's
Hate.
just two
It's a perfect
two
name.
white straight guys just hating. It's perfect for Trump's America.
Pure hate. I love it. Yeah, and hopefully I'll be in Philadelphia. I'm at It's all on my website. You got to go check it out. I'm at Parks Casino with Dice on the 21st, but better than that, on the 19th and 20th, I'm doing 2 local shows in Philadelphia, Delco area. One at Gatsby in Aston, and the other one is at the
Hannah Gatsby?
It's called, no.
Hannah Gatsby's Nanette
No,
Theater.
It's not Hannah Gatsby.
No.
It's Gatsby's in Aston, Pennsylvania. And then DeFabio's, my brother Johnny. I forget where it is. You'll have to look it up. It's all on my website. All that stuff. Mountain Dew is not our sponsor, but we wouldn't.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. All that dew taste, plus a little bit more diarrhea.
Do the do if you have the toilet paper to do. No?
That sounds good for me. Hey, thanks for
Yeah, rate, subscribe, all that shit.
watching,
Josh, you have
listening.
anything? Josh doesn't want. He says no. Get the fuck out. Let's
Canceled.
Go. Let's fucking cancel.
Do they wipe down these microphones before we talked into them?
Probably not. Look,
Damn
Bobby
it.
Lee farted. He touched me with
They
his
let
open toe
All
shoes,
sorts of
so
weird
I'll be
homeless
dead within the hour.
transgender people use these. All right, have a good night.